And welcome to Pull the Chart. Today, I'm super excited. Ridiculous.
No, it's pretty
We,
cool.
really cool. We are doing influencers, but we're doing influencers in a way that we're going to show you how to find, even in your chart, your influencer kind of markings. So, first, I'm just going to kind of give you a rundown, and this will be kind of quick, but I promise to write an actual blog post about this to help you out with this. Okay, your first house has to do with your body, yourself, your face, your facial expressions. Your second house is your voice. It's your skills and as an order. Order is one who speaks. Usage of words and expressions. It's your verbal expression. But your third house is communication and your delivery of the
Mm.
words. Okay. It's also social media. So
Okay.
very important house. Okay. We'll talk about the fourth house later, but the fourth house is considered the common man house, and that will go into audience a little bit. Your fifth house is creativity and leadership. Your seventh house, you look at aesthetics and style, but also seventh house will come into play with if the moon is there in the seventh house, your own moon. You tend to be really liked by the masses very easily. The ninth house is publishing and global outreach. 11th house is achievement, fame, public support. If we look at some of the signs, right, we're looking at like Gemini placements for communication. You're looking at Leo placements, Libra, um, Sagittarius for travel. So if you sometimes you notice this more with the sun sign, but we'll look at the houses that they normally coordinate with, and you look at the chart ruler and where they're placed. We look at Venus. This is your charisma, style, aesthetics. This is important for beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. Mercury, intellect, speech, quick-wittedness. This is like how you present and deliver your content, but it's also how you can choose and niche down. And also, are you scattered? How are you doing things differently? Okay. The moon is your emotions and public appeal. It's how you connect with the audience, but it's also beauty, okay? Because it's grooming, how you style yourself. And when your moon is in the fourth house, you have a strong connection kind of with the common man, like where people almost feel like you're their
Mm.
best friend one on one. Okay. Seventh house, people just generally like you. Jupiter is expansion, luck, and reaching a wide audience. And I have some interesting things when we get into the charts with Jupiter aspects. Um, Aquarius is innovative and forward thinking, trend setting, tech focused. So as you're like thinking about your chart, just kind of like highlight some of these things. North Node can be connected to sudden fame and viral moments. The strong Venus and Moon is beneficial in fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. A strong Mercury, crucial for educational content, right? Humor, commentary based. Planets that are on your angles, your ascendant and your midheaven. Your ascendant is your self presentation, your midheaven, it's going to help with your public image. And then Neptune, because Neptune glamorizes everything. So it's placement, house, aspects. Yeah, that was like a laundry list for you. But I will tell you, it is pretty wild when we start going through these charts. A really strong third house ruler. If you want success online, you'll find the ruler in like first house, fourth house, seventh house, 10th house, fifth house, ninth house, right? So it's, believe me, we'll write all this down for you. But then if the ruler is placed in the third and the 11th, it's like massive fan followings.
Mm.
So, well, I'll write you a cheat sheet because it's pretty wild to watch this all go through. And the fifth and the ninth house with the chart ruler there, it made me also remember with transits, when you have transits, and if it affects those two houses, it's fortune and luck. Like things that land in those houses tend to be more lucky, more fortunate. So, um, also, if you are a model, if you want to be a model, if you're influencing something that requires a bit of sexual magnetism, you're going to look at those eighth house placements. So what we're doing, that was a lot. You're welcome. I will break that down and we're going to look at that through these charts. So we're going to start with Emily Post, the original etiquette queen, right? Martha Stewart and Gwyneth. Okay. And then we're going to go into our newbies, our new digital heiresses. I don't know what you want to call them. Romilly Newman, Kit Keenan, and Emma Chamberlain. And I think you're going to be kind of amazed at the young ones. It's pretty interesting to see. Okay, so let's start with Emily. Okay, here we have Emily Post. She wrote all the etiquette books. She is the original how you should present yourself, groom yourself, write a letter. So we do not have a birth time, by the way, but she was also born in 1871. So clearly the documentation wasn't there yet. So one of the things that you can look at is that she has a strong Mercury here. Okay. And strong Mercuries are really great for educational content. All right. She has a strong moon, but it has like oppositions to it, an opposition to the sun. This is why she's not a beauty influencer. Okay, guys. She's more of like educational content. We have this Virgo Venus, which is, I mean, what you just want to say etiquette? Should we just call this Little Miss Etiquette right here? Um, I liked that her sun and her moon are both ruled by Mars. And I liked that Mars was in Sagittarius here in a fire sign, right? Taking action. Her, let's see, North Node, Gemini, she wrote books. She literally, I mean, you still buy the books. I think I bought one this year, was like business etiquette because they recently had revised it. Here we have the moon Venus. Remember we talked about glamorizing.
Mhm.
And here you have Aries, which is like actions. And to me, it was very much like this idea of glamorizing your actions and like and this was like the 1800s, right? So it's like, how do you go out into the world and in a proper way, right? In your proper way. So she has this squaring as well, right? This squares her nodes, which I thought,
Mhm.
okay, writes the books on the etiquette. Now her Jupiter here at 29 degrees. Also, this was like probably a new concept, right? Her Jupiter is squaring her communication. So I'm going to give you a big hint for what you're going to find in all the young girls. They have squares to their Jupiters, which can be this ability to get bigger, taking this challenge. And it's like almost, it's a marker of each of the young girls. You're going to see this. And I liked that it was in Scorpio. I like that it's water. It's like, how do you act properly? You know, there is once got described that's like a Scorpio Venus, some Scorpios. I mean, it can be very like Stepford wife. So there is a bit of like properness as well to them. Um, I also liked and then goes down here and it squares here.
Mm.
So what do you think of her?
I like that Venus and Virgo because it would be precise.
Mm-hmm.
Precise. You are precise in all things beauty, all things
Yeah.
etiquette. I like that.
You realize this is my favorite tarot card again.
Mhm.
This is the Nine of Pentacles.
Yes.
Go look at her. Go look at that tarot card.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her garden. She's perfect. Yeah. I actually didn't mind this either, the Saturn in Capricorn. She's like, she built these books that have lasted forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rules of etiquette. This is how you function in society. I really like it. So I think in terms of like when you look at influencer, that strong Mercury there, really, and it's right here. Oh, it's not. There's no midheaven. Ignore my midheavens. Yeah, but it's a strong Mercury,
Mm-hmm.
and that's great for delivering educational content.
Can I also say I
Mhm.
like that Saturn in Capricorn, very solid.
Mhm.
Well, rules Capricorn, solid, dedicated, but it's squaring that Aries Chiron,
Oh yeah.
which, that's like healing to you. So, how are you going to be presented in the world? By following these strict rules.
Yeah.
They're not so strict, but you're following these concrete rules of how to present yourself
Yes,
better in society. And then it also trines, what is that trining?
which one? Oh, this trines the right here with the
Yeah, so
Uranus.
up there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how you present yourself
Mm-hmm.
will really see how well you're kind of liked, right?
Exactly.
How the light shines on you. It's in Leo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do they say? Dress for the job you want, not the one you have.
Exactly.
Ta-da!
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, so let's go to Miss Martha Stewart. Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we have Martha Stewart here, and we do have a good time, birth time. And she has a strong Mercury as well. And you'll see it has lovely sextiles in home, right? Cancer, home,
Mm-hmm.
hostess. She has, okay, so this, I like this. This to me says like lifestyle perfectionist. Like I am glamorizing this, having the perfect tablescape, having the perfect garden, or really reaching for this level of just like
Mm-hmm.
a look.
Yeah.
Um, I will tell you that her moon, if you remember, Emily Post's south node was 24 degrees. This is conjunct Emily Post's south node. Isn't that kind of cute? And they both have the Virgo Venuses.
Mm-hmm.
So Martha is like the lifestyle influencer, right? The original, the architect of it.
Mm-hmm.
She has Jupiter square Venus. Here we have someone again in Gemini, which she has expanded into, right? Like gardening, cooking, like product lines, right? She
Mm-hmm.
took this and she expands. So here's another moment of this Jupiter squaring, right? It's really, really popular. Then we have, I, I like this as well. Creativity, like takes action with the creativity. It trines to the sun here. Her sun on the midheaven, like when she comes in, like she might walk in softly, but like the room turns to her. Like she magnetizes rooms to her.
Right.
Right. So yeah, and also her rising, right? It's ruled by Pluto and then also ruled here. So this creativity and going for broader mass appeal really felt perfect for her. Yeah. Well, what do you think? What do you think of this lovely lady? By the way, can we just note that she has the exact same notes as me to the
Well, there you
degree.
have it. There you
Uh,
have it.
we have that. So when I come out with my 97 cookbooks, I don't cook.
I love the Aries Mars. Because Martha's what? What is she? 84 now, 85,
Oh yeah.
you know.
84. Yeah.
And you think about her, because when did she come out? In the 80s, wasn't it? 80s.
He was 80s because she married the husband.
Yeah, I mean, but Martha Stewart became a household name,
Mhm. Yeah.
She was in her 40s. That's really fabulous, right? Really fabulous.
He was a model before that.
Yes, she was. And she's brilliant financially. The woman she's just brilliant. That's why I love that Aries Mars, because she had to do all this basically in a man's world, and be taken seriously and, bring this product, this persona out into a domesticated persona and out into this, and really stand toe to toe with, the way the world was back then,
Yeah.
yesterday.
This is
Yeah.
interesting here because of like, she had to take the fall for like and go to prison for, which by the way is such a tiny amount of money from that insider trading, right? Which we see tons of people who do not ever,
Hmm.
they tried to make an example of her because
And she
Lord,
never spilled the beans. She
she is
never,
never,
ever
she's been like,
implicated anyone.
it
Love
goes
her.
to the grave with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
so true. Yeah, I feel like she's also this Jupiter and Gemini. I feel like she's been able to reinvent herself
Hmm.
a few times.
Hmm.
She looks great. She's 80, 84. Like she is, I mean, we look at some of our presidents and former presidents, they can't stay awake at the table.
Yeah.
And she's like kicking in the pool. Like,
Hmm. Yeah.
and she's done hard time. Neither one of them have. Saying, just out there.
Yeah. Yeah. She's amazing.
Okay, let's go to Gwyneth. Here we have Gwyneth Paltrow, which I would say would be the first kind of online-ish influencer as well, with like really e-commercing online a lot more than the other. Clearly, Emily did not. There was there's no electricity. Um, but I feel like she's a little more provocative too,
Hmm.
right? She had names candles after body parts. I don't know. She has, the other two had Mercury that were more for educational content. She has a strong Venus and a strong moon. Okay. No hard aspects really going on here. They're not in fall. This usually sets you up for fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, which that feels more her than maybe Martha and Emily, who are a little more educational based.
Hmm.
She too has the Jupiter square, right? Jupiter square to her sun here. So another one who got to expand. We do have a good birth time. She is an empire builder, isn't she? She kind of really went with it. This here really makes me, because it is the moon is trining up here.
Hmm.
I feel like because it was Gemini and Libra, I feel like this is that conscious uncoupling thing, which really appealed to the masses. People were like, oh, here's this great concept. I really feel like it was around then that like she was able to like have influence.
Hmm.
That's when it was really based on that relationship and that how that was handled. So I really feel like that's conscious uncoupling right there. And where the people were like, oh, this is really, really interesting. So it's wide, right? It's 9 degrees here, but it still works because it was like bringing the people together. Like, here we are, we can be neighbors and still a family kind of idea, I felt like.
Hmm.
Um, she's got her Venus, I mean, sextile here too, right? She does candles. Like, I mean, literally the candle that smells like her. Private parts. But it is kind of funny that it's this sextile of like, here's a home product air and fire. I don't know. That's just really reaching, but that's just funny to me. Um, I'll read a chart literally and metaphorically for you. She does not have a Virgo Venus, but she's got her Mars here,
Mhm.
right? If you look at her website, so she's a lot of air. Her website is minimal, right? It's this white and black. It's so airy, just a lot of white space, just very clean. I feel like this is just her. She partners and she sells other people's like she like Oprah, how Oprah had like my favorite things, right? Like she puts on, here's my favorite things, and she sells them as well. But very more curated brands that are fall in line with like her clean kind of
Mhm.
living lifestyle. Um, so what do you think of her? Not as what you think of her as a human, I don't know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I like that her North Node is in the house of other people and
mhm,
collaboration, so that's what she
right. And
might
her,
be learning how to do this time. I'm not going to say she does it well, especially with Pluto squaring her Jupiter in the 10th house.
yeah.
So that,
I
I
mean,
don't
that
know.
ruler is in the fourth house. She
Mhm,
does it on social media and the internet.
mhm.
I mean, she really, I think she did I think she may have opened a store or something at one point, or maybe
Yeah.
there's like one in LA or something.
Mhm.
But she's not like, there's no like brick and
More,
mortar,
yeah,
mortar. What's
yeah,
the
or
word?
martyr. Yeah.
Mortar,
So
mortar,
brick,
mortar.
uh-huh. Yeah, depending on the day, right? Yeah.
Here's our fun Neptune,
Mm-hmm.
sextiling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sextiling these two guys. Yeah, I feel like she glamorized the relationships, right? I mean, her ex was international guy,
Mm-hmm.
Chris Martin.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, we're coming for him real soon too. Um, he's on my list. Okay, right, but like here's this. I mean, it really he as well was a bit of his influence here.
Mm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it is. It is kind of interesting. Okay, so we saw that educational content between Emily Post, Martha Stewart, and now you
Mm-hmm.
have your strong Venus and Moon with
Right.
Gwyneth. Okay, so these are like our OGs, right? Now I want to look at some of our youngsters. Okay, they're pretty fascinating. They're pretty fascinating. We're going to start with Romilly. I really hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Newman. Okay. Here we have Romilly Newman. She cooks, styles food, does tablescapes, and host like a hostess. Okay.
Mm.
We do not have a good birth time. All right.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a good birth time for any of these young ones, which is kind of interesting. Um, okay. Any first initial thoughts before I go to town on her? That sounds terrible.
Go to town.
Go to town, which is interesting because I'm going to pull some quotes from her Town and Country interview. Okay. First thing I want to look at is get my annotator here. Okay, here we have, oh golly, where to start with her? Okay, her Saturn has no aspects. Okay, so this is going to come into play. No aspects. So demanding individual, nothing is ever good enough, right?
Mhm.
She doesn't have a Venus in Virgo, but it might be her Saturn in Aries. Okay. Always trying harder, can be super self-disciplined, and things can be only about work. Okay. So just something to keep in mind as we go through this. She has, okay, so she has her Mercury here in Pisces, and it's right here with her Mars. She has called herself a visual thinker,
Mm.
right? Um, So they had asked her about food styling and she goes, I'm a visual thinker. And I was like, beautiful way to describe your Mercury. Okay. By the way, I want you to notice she has no retrograde planets. Okay. All forward focus, which then again puts into this like hardworking, unaspected Saturn. So okay, so I want you to see, she does have her North Node in Virgo, which Martha, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has said that she styled when she was younger. She got a YouTube channel when she was really young. She would style herself in her mother's clothes and high heels, and she would do her own little cooking shows. Now, her moon here in Cancer, right? And then Virgo is also ruled by this Mercury. So here she is creating this like visual emotional attachment image, right? I'm going to come back to this because I'm going to jump around a little bit in her chart. Okay, she has here. How do you love that? Now here's a quote from her. Ready? I think you're gonna love this. Because you love Neptune, Patty. Patty
I
loves
do. I do love Neptune.
You do. She said, I'm a housewife to myself, but I clean and I set the table and I do all this very domestic things, but it's all for my own enjoyment and as a career.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about playing into here's this unaspected Saturn, here's
Right.
this. An Aquarius Venus oftentimes needs their individuality. So the fact that she's like, I'm a housewife to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I like things my way. I've got to have this bit of independence. Um, she has also said, oh my gosh, I have so much. Her Cancer moon here, she describes food, as I quote, just very elemental things that feel like a hug. And I was like, oh, you use my word that I used for my second house because it's Cancer. It feels like a hug, right? Your Cancer rising feels like a hug.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, what I look for in food is to evoke some kind of feeling that whether it's comfort or excitement. I was like, interesting that it's comfort and excitement. It's very Cancer right there. She is working on a cookbook and she has described it as, are you ready for this? It's a love letter to mother-daughter relationships.
Oh.
Yes. Um, she says, I try to find beauty in the everyday, and some days are harder than others, but that luxury in food can be the simplest thing. Now, her mother is British, but grew up in Paris. Okay. Her mother exposed her to different foods and cultures. So her mother is a huge influence in this and everything that she's done. Martha, so she calls herself, she has been labeled the Gen Z Martha Stewart. And Martha Stewart was quoted as saying, she offers useful and exuberant designs. I was like,
Mhm.
useful and exuberant designs. I was like, it's so like just what she says. Her Saturn here as well. There was a quote. When I started, I was concerned with doing everything technically right. I didn't necessarily let myself play around. Do we understand her just based on her quotes alone?
Exactly.
Right? And then of course, she has this up here,
Mm-hmm.
and here we square. She has Pluto square. I mean, I feel like, is she almost like rebirthing this, like the Martha Stewart, the image? Like Martha never remarried. I mean, this girl's young. Um, she's pretty much been working since she was like 19. Like she got an internship and it was like, it's just been like, she just goes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think of her?
I think her Pluto is more like she's transmuting
Okay.
Martha. She's taking Martha, but transmuting it into something
Newer,
young
younger.
and fresh, and
Mm-hmm.
she's leading the way to Gen Z. She's leading Gen Z to say, yeah, hey, it's okay to live at home, to eat at home, to build your home, to make it beautiful.
Yeah, to host these beautiful
Hmm.
parties.
Hmm.
So she has the strong Venus moon. So that's very much like lifestyle, fashion, and beauty. It's
Hmm.
funny, like that Sagittarius, Pluto. I was like, okay, so Emily Post had the South Node in Sagittarius and the Mars. Martha had her moon in Sagittarius. It was interesting to see, like, Gwyneth has her Neptune. So it's like, I feel like there is a little bit of this, like Sagittarius can be worldly and cultured, but I feel like it is very much so with some of these like cooking
Hmm.
type girls. Cooking type
Right.
girl. Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like she's taking the idea of this housewife, but like elevating it.
Exactly.
It's like
Exactly.
you're not like home, but you're here to like host and have beautiful things and enjoy food. And she's like, enjoy the butter on the toast. Like, just enjoy it. But I really loved like the influence of her mother on her and
Hmm.
this like cookbook. I thought that was just she's just absolutely like the photo. She's just very precious looking, very
Hmm.
sweet. I think yeah, she seems like maybe a little wound tight, but I don't know at what point will she unwind. But when you kind of have this, she's she's working it.
Well, I think she would need to. That's a lot of Pisces. That's a lot of air
Here
Aquarius. So you do need something to like either light the flame, but keep it controlled.
doesn't have any
Medium
earth.
high. Let's just keep it medium high.
She's got
Hmm.
this North Node in Virgo. She needs to learn to tether herself down.
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell her to when she does decide to meet someone and date, make sure they have some earth in her chart, which doesn't float away.
And there's
And make sure
Capricorn.
it's separate. Make sure you have separate bedrooms because you're gonna want a little space. So
Hmm.
there's just more rooms to design. Look at it that way. More rooms. Okay, so that's Romilly. This is our Gen Z Martha Stewart, as she has been labeled by magazines and others. This is not her own personal label. Okay, let's move on to Kit Keenan. Okay, we have Kit Keenan, who is Cynthia Raleigh's daughter. Okay, but she was also on season 25 of The Bachelor. She was the youngest contestant at 21 years old. And from what I read, she walked away at week 7, like she exited the game show.
The
Okay,
game. Hmm.
the game show. So she does recipes, workout, dating advice, travel to fashion inspo. Now, she's a strong Venus and Mars. Okay. But she's kind of a little bit all over the place. She's doing a lot of things. She isn't like kind of narrowed down at all. She's truly going lifestyle. Um, food and fashion. This felt very food and fashion. Um, she said, so her website is more food based. So in her website, she mentioned that she created it by drawing from history, making mistakes, and learning along the way. She says dressing up and chefing up. Okay. So I was like, okay, this feels here. Also the learning and by mistakes, like this this one processes at its own speed.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay. And then you've got Saturn here. I was like, okay, that seems about right. Now she recognizes the Nepo baby comments. Okay. And she made a TikTok and she said, And she put in quotes like, "You're such a nepo." And she wrote, "God forbid my mom works hard to give me the world and make her dreams come true." Okay. Now, there have been two quotes I'm going to read to you. Her moon is in Leo. The other quote is, "Realizing the best gift my mom has ever given me is watching her achieve her dreams." This is after she walked her mother's runway this year. So my daughter has a Leo moon. And
Wow.
one of the things is that a Leo moon child can feel like they are competing with their mother. So you
Mhm.
have to be careful. But she has never wanted to go into fashion. And she's like, my mom's like, "Oh gosh, stay away from fashion," which I thought was maybe a good way. But these comments are really interesting. Now I'm going to tell you about her dad. So she made comments about relationships. Her dad is a Pisces, and she said he's very emotional, and he told her that he has had 7 loves in his life. Okay. Her parents are divorced, clearly. And she quotes like an Esther Perel that most of us are going to have 2 to 3 marriages in our lifetime. Some of us will do it with the same person. She's a little bit like, I don't know if I'm ever going to find anyone. By the way, she's like 25, 26. Okay. She's like, I don't know if monogamy is working. It just like feels like a very negative view. She goes, "I didn't have good examples from my parents. They both got remarried and divorced multiple times." But then she has this quote that I was like, well, this is kind of a nice quote. "You can have the same relationship with 1,000 people, or you can have 1,000 relationships with the same person. Dot, dot, dot. There is hope." So I was like, okay, because I was like, how are you giving dating advice if you're like, she talks quite a bit about therapy, which was, mm, okay. Um, she and her mother just, they were just announced with Campbell's is doing a Campbell's side collection. So there's this whole thing about like the side dishes. And I think the mother created like a handbag and a purse, or 2 handbags or 2 bags where you like carry stuff. And they just launched it a few days ago. So they're doing it as mother-daughter. I know you have to have some thoughts on this.
I
Go.
love the mother-daughter things.
Okay.
You know, Romilly said the same thing. I love this.
They do. I mean, she's got, I think home is important. Like she seems fully aware that like, hey, I know I come from this background. I'm
Mhm.
fully aware of it. And she kept it quiet on The Bachelor. And then it kind of got realized. But she really grew most of her following from being on The Bachelor. And then
Mhm.
people found out that who her mother was. So I think they did a pretty good job of like keeping it quiet. So, but she has not been like, I mean, I feel like she's defended it well. Like, hey, yeah, my mom works really hard for what she does. So I
Mhm.
liked that. I do feel like there probably are. And then I thought when she mentioned her dad was a Pisces, and I was like, okay. I was like, is this your dad? This like opposition of like the mom and dad, and like some of the things they've said, like, oh, am I ever going to meet anyone? Right? Like,
Mhm.
oh, they just keep getting divorces. I don't know. I was just kind of like, oh, this is kind of interesting grouping there.
I think probably gives really good advice with the Sun and Mercury
Oh,
together.
yeah. I
You know,
mean,
I
it's not
really do. I
just,
mean, Taurians are notorious. I mean, I I'm not an earthy person, but I have a girlfriend who is Taurian, capital T, and
Mhm,
you know, she always has like one sentence, and I'm like, oh, that's right. That's beautiful. Yes. You
mhm.
know, her daughter, by the way, is also a Taurian and has never married. She's in her 40s.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I wouldn't, I don't know. She may not get married. She's would rather travel and, you know, have a lot of girlfriends than
Yeah.
just hasn't found the one.
Also, I feel like I do like that she talks about finding the one.
Hmm.
But I also am like, I was a little concerned that like she goes, this quote keeps coming up. I keep in my therapy session. So obviously it's a really big focus is this idea of like wanting to be loved
Mhm,
or have a partner.
mhm.
Um,
I think that would be hard with an Aquarian Neptune.
so this is the generation, right? So all of
Mhm,
these girls, they're Pluto, Sagittarius and Pluto, and then
mhm,
they have both Jupiter and Uranus in Aquarius.
mhm.
I mean, they're the ones who live and grew up on the internet.
Right.
So I think for them, learning,
And they go around in little herds,
yeah, they do
you
are. You're
know?
right. Yeah, they're like
Yeah,
little pods.
right.
Yeah, so it is.
So, I mean, okay, Neptune, I love my Neptune who
Mhm.
glamorizes everything. So he does
Yes.
tend to glamorize the groups and he does tend to glamorize individuality. So
Mm-hmm. That's
that
actually it.
idea of meeting the perfect one is going to be really hard unless you shed that
I think you need to not
transparency.
have a list.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And Pluto in Sagittarius, you are always going to be seeking
No, yes, I
and
agree.
checking off the list, nope, 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 burn that one. Next.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. This and it's attached to like your own emotions. Yeah,
Mhm.
it really is that hmm.
Yeah.
And then the list gets so much more. They add more to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's tough. It's interesting. Okay, so this is we don't have a square this time, but we have got an opposition.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. Pluto's playing, or not Pluto, Jupiter's playing. So it will be interesting to see. How do you feel about Mars opposing Jupiter? It's like
Well,
actions to please others
yeah. And
or
Mars
to
isn't very happy there. He isn't very happy in Libra,
mm-mm,
He's such an individual and
yeah,
not a people pleaser there.
yeah. She also has her Venus. Her Venus really acts alone too.
Mhm.
There's not a whole lot of being a Nepo baby. I'll be honest. It's not
Yeah.
all blue, so that's good. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So this one will be interesting to watch how her career
Yes.
kind of grows. Okay, by the way, she calls herself, I am a young Martha Stewart stuck in Blair Waldorf's Plotline. I didn't watch Gossip Girl, but
I
also like
like her.
what do I watch? Do you like her? So I just started following her Instagram, but she just I guess Erewhon just opened a store in New York, so she was like on the street doing a little video, and someone was like, give me your, purse or whatever." She's like, "Yeah, you can take my purse, take all my money, but don't take my Erewhon, like, what do you call juice, right?" So I was like, "Oh, that's cute. Very cute." Yeah, she seems actually very I think she'd be like a really great friend, to be honest with you. I think she'd be a
I agree. I agree. I would trust her. If she told me, do not do this, I would trust her implicitly.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay.
I would always
Take her
trust her
advice.
counsel. Hmm.
Maybe she needs to do an Ask Kit
I agree. I
column.
agree. I think, yeah.
Maybe we
Hmm.
send her a little note and be like, we looked at your chart. We think you should probably maybe consider doing an advice column.
Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm. Might be something that you'd really, really excel at
Right.
and enjoy doing. Because especially here, giving daily advice is probably something you have a natural, little bit of a knack and talent for anyways. But when you can draw on and help people like emotionally and maybe shadow moments, it's quite beautiful.
I'm just fascinated with, they're so young.
You know,
Meaning they are so young. They haven't even done their Saturn return yet. And you're
right?
already this already?
Mhm.
What world are you taking over? when you were 30?
Wonderful question. What world are you taking
Yeah,
over when you're 30?
right.
Yeah. So, and hers is in her Saturn return will be in Taurus. So Aries, so she's got
Mhm.
another 2.5, 3 years.
Right.
So she's got time. So play around, make your mistakes, start your advice column. I'm gonna just send her a little
Yeah.
note, be like, I'm gonna need you to, we decided this is a great idea for you. Please do it.
I do want to say learning by mistakes is really hard for her. I think that she takes them very personally and has to like pull herself up and out of the mud and
Mhm.
get it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right, let's pull up our last one. Here we have Emma Chamberlain, which many of you probably know because she has her own coffee. She has her own coffee brand. She also has her own line of clothes called Anything Goes, which how much do you love that for a Gemini?
Gemini.
I was like, nailed it, girl, nailed it. In
Yeah.
2018, now mind you, she was born in 2001. How
Mhm.
old was she in 2018? She was 17. She won a Streamy Award for Breakout Creator.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yes, you are behind. I'm just kidding. No, we all move at different paths. Believe me.
I know I'm gonna be more Martha
More,
than
we're of the generation where
more
you,
Martha. We're
we're at the
slower.
generation where we don't even peak until we're like 67.
Exactly.
Fine.
Exactly.
Okay, so she has a strong Venus and a strong, even though she has this square here, which is great for her. She's strong Venus and a strong moon. So she is okay. Oh my God. This is so it's so good. There was an article, and the article was Emma Chamberlain says big pants are out and tight tailored pants are in, dot, dot, dot. See what else she's parting ways with. So she was selling some things on eBay. So they do this interview and they talk about authenticity. The genuineness translates to how she gets dressed. Okay.
Oh,
Do you see this? Like, I was like, okay, okay. Great, great little like comment that was made inside the article. They asked her about collecting clothes, and I was like, oh, hoarding. We love a little hoarding of the fashions. And she said, her collection, what was happening was her collection was ultimately overstimulating to me. It can't actually use it all. And I was like, overstimulated? Really?
yeah. Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, let's keep going. So she said what she sells on eBay, she picked out things that were a bit more special, hyper specific, and something that someone else can collect. Because, and I quote, now I feel cleansed. Now I feel cleansed. And I was like, oh, do you? Oh, do you feel cleansed after the stimulation here? Right? How very like baptize yourself, cleanse yourself, clear. I was like, oh, so nice. She's very chatty. Like I was listening to like a little thing with her. Great, great with like speaking, talking, um, giving out information, just very natural. So you very natural on camera. Um, yeah, I mean, here's another Aries Venus. By the way, how many is this like the number one like Venus sign to be born under, or just for like people that are slightly more famous?
Just, delicious women.
Delicious. I love it. Um,
I'll
um,
take my Aries Venus any day.
I feel like there's something about like putting yourself out there. It's like this Venus, you're like, I desire this, I'm gonna go get it. It just
Hmm.
feels very okay. Here's your Neptune, your magical Neptune.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's
do you
like
think she's a Taurus moon?
I think with the bit of like commenting about like the collecting and how she's
Yeah.
very specific about like her closet is like this has meaning. These
Mhm.
are the pieces. I want you to also be a collector. I don't want to just like have a garage sale kind of thing.
Mhm.
I want it to go to someone else who's going to truly appreciate it.
Yeah, value that.
And
Mhm.
I thought I really liked that. I also liked, I feel like all of these charts had some kind of Cancer like tie-in with them, whether
Right.
it's Venus. There is something about it with Venus. So the moon for Romilly, Venus for Kit,
Mhm.
she's got the North Node. I feel like something with Cancer needs to be kind of prominent in your chart. I love that I have all these charts in front of me. Um, because even our OGs did, our OGs. Gwyneth had the South Node. Emily Post had Jupiter, and Martha had her Mercury. I feel like there's something about this like household name or like tapping in,
Household name. Love that.
right? There is something with Cancer in the chart that seems to really be a tie-in.
Mhm.
Um, I also think Jupiter, I think hard aspects to Jupiter seem
Mhm.
to be like a theme among a lot of them. There's something where it like there's a challenge to get to this level of expansion. And I think they're all so far doing a really good job of not like, I don't want to say like cracking out, but like kind of like not being able to handle the pressure. So
Mhm.
I think that's really good. I mean, these girls are all very young,
Mhm.
our digital girls, our digital influencer, um, Martha Stewart's. So unfortunately, Emma does not have a funny description of herself as a Martha Stewart, but she does have a coffee line. But she's a little more like of like the fashion and trend setting. She's very, which I feel like she uses this, and the Gemini, I feel like very much. And that's why I also think this is fashion. This is Taurus. I feel like there is, yeah, I feel like she's kind of like your trendsetter one. Like if
Yeah.
If Emma says everyone needs a Labubu, everyone gets goddamn Labubu, right? Like I feel like she is. It's like what's Emma wearing? Yeah,
Mhm.
she's a very cool girl, very well spoken. She's like,
Which,
I feel like you could sit with a cup of coffee with her in your like sweatpants or anything goes sweatpants, and you would like not realize 7 hours went by.
oh no. I mean, her chart says, I am caffeine. I am. She's caffeinated,
I
you
am
know?
caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. It was when I saw that the name of her clothing line was Anything Goes. I was like, oh girl, so good, so good, so good, and that was really great. Yeah, I'll be interested to see. I'm really curious to see like where do these young girls, like you said, where do they go from here?
I know.
They're all pretty young, but they're all really amazing. Like I'll have these like they have somehow managed to like hone in on their like passions and what they love, and I think that's really great. I think I was a mess.
And
Very.
fearless, they're just fearless.
Yeah,
So interesting. Interesting.
I know. I just thought they were so great, and which made me then go, I need to go through my chart. Oh my gosh, like
I know.
take it through this thinking and this route
Mhm.
and see how what
Do
lines up.
mine too.
Yes, I'll do it. I'll do it. I will. I'll be sitting there later tonight, like watching my Project Runway reruns as I'm going. Yeah,
Oh,
such
that's
a crazy
funny.
show. I should have been on the show. And then I'm watching this going, I
Yeah.
should have been on that show. Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good. Okay. Thank you so much. I will put up some notes on my blog so that you can kind
Yeah.
of go through when I gave you the like long laundry list. So you can kind of like go through your own charts or you can have one of
Right.
us help you. Um, yeah, I think it's really interesting, but also you can look at where will the transits be coming and where will things hit? Because timing's a huge part too, which we
Mhm.
didn't go into like the date of launches of things, but if they're smart, which they should be smart, they should come talk to their astrologers.
Right.
We're
Right.
big fans of them now that we've
Mhm.
like looked at their chart and go, oh, you got some good potential, girl. Yeah, do it right. Get yourself an astrologer. So, like, follow, subscribe along, like, subscribe, follow. Come do readings with us. I'll tell you what you should
Yes.
influence. Are you an educational person? Fashion, beauty, cooking, the whole thing.
Mhm.
We're here for you. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.